Hey y'all, welcome back. I don't know if my microphone's too loud because for some reason my setup is, I don't know, OBS updated. So if I sound weird, blame OBS. I'm back again, double upload. Oh my gosh, I really need to freaking take a fat dump right now. Why is it when I start recording, I need to take a fat dump? And you're like, why don't you just re-record or whatever? No, bruh. I'm not. I'm going to hold it in until this video is done. What did I want to talk about today? I gotta beat the crap out of this Daisy so that I can freaking take a massive dump. I was kind of cooking at work today. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of cooking. Your boy was making some crazy macros, some crazy stuff. And it was a interesting day for me today because I had a coffee chat with someone from my company who I actually knew when I was a co-op. So I've known them for quite a long time, but I've never had a chat with them, and they're so supportive. They were like kind of my HR guidance counselor, I would say, when I was a co-op student. And so it was really nice of them to have another chat with me. And they were basically telling me the same stuff everyone has been telling me about, like, oh, you're doing such a great job. Just keep networking. And you know what? You'll find a role if you stick with it. You know, you'll land it. You know, telling me some stuff like always ask your manager for feedback. Keep doing one-on-ones with your manager because he'll support you. And, just a bunch of other stuff that I've heard a billion times, but you know, it's great. You know, I'm glad she took the time to talk with me. And if I've heard one thing over and over again about landing a role, it's always luck and timing. Luck and timing is what's gonna get you a role. You know, it's just luck and luck and timing, and I don't know how many times I'm gonna freaking keep hearing those two things in conjunction with one another, and I'm really sick of it. But you know what? I guess it's just that I'm unlucky. That's why I can't land anything. It's because we're all unlucky. I'm unlucky. You're unlucky. We can't get the roles that we want. But honestly, let me be a little bit more serious on the matter, because she did give me some really good insight and some things I never really thought about, which is the fact that I actually don't feel like I have that great of a relationship with my manager as I think I do. I guess I think the root of the problem really came from the fact that when I first started, I was pretty eager, but I was really faking how much I really cared about this role, just like how any good, you know, employee wants, you know, just trying to show themselves, you know. I was just trying to show that, you know, like it's my first real job. So I'm trying to really show that I care and that I really want to do well, which, you know, I'm not saying I don't want to, but, you know, in the back of my mind, half the time I'm thinking, you know, I hope to gosh I don't stay here for as long as as I am, and I stay here for almost a year now, and it's kind of crazy. But anyways, that's besides the point. And so what I was doing, you know, like I always talk to my manager, tell him about everything, blah, 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 always ask him for questions, help, whatever, yada, 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 that sort of thing. But I realized once I started understanding how it works, everything is going, I stopped going to him, you know, like I was always going to my senior, you know, my senior, I don't want to say senior leader, but my senior associate, who's, you know, my senior member in my team. You know, I always go to them for help. I still only really go to them for help, and other senior members of my team for help. And so, you know, I never went to my boss for anything, to be honest. I never went to them after I started realizing that, like, oh, I'm gonna just go to them for everything because they you know, they'll know the ropes a bit better, and obviously they're training me, so it's whatever. Now, fast forward now, okay, I haven't had a coffee chat. I haven't had a real one-on-one with my manager probably before he left. He left in February. So, beginning of the year, basically, okay, and it's been 6 months since then, and I realized I haven't had a one-on-one with him. I haven't really been talking to him, conversing with him. Funny enough, today, I did talk to him in the break room for the longest time I've ever talked to him the entire time I've been at this role, like, small talk wise. I was talking to him for like a good 15 minutes, and we just talked about, you know, our weekends, blah 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 blah, because it's Tuesday today, but he didn't come in on the Monday because something happened, and then I talked about it, and we were like talking. It's like, yeah. But anywho, you know, it was a good chat, it was a good talk, and then yeah, when I had this coffee chat, I kind of realized that I don't really have that great of a relationship with my manager, like, established. Like, I don't really go up to him, I don't talk to him most of the day, I don't ask for the one-on-ones anymore, and it's kind of like, I'm really slacking in that department. But, you know, is it my fault? Do I feel like I'm supported enough to, like, go up to him? I feel like there's both sides to this story, you know. I'm not gonna say that it's all my fault, but, you know, to be honest, I don't know. I feel like it's just I realize that, like, in terms of managing, he doesn't really he doesn't really, like, tell people what to do unless it's, like, you know, like that important. Most of the time he lets everyone do what they want, which is not, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. It's better than micromanaging, but I just realized he gives a lot of freedom, and in a sense it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because, well, if everyone's doing what we do, then we can seriously slack off, and honestly, that's what I've been doing. And until I go up to him and show him the progress that I make, then, you know, he doesn't really get a grasp of what I do. Even now, with, you know, this AI thing that I took up and stuff like that, that's all he thinks about me. And it's crazy because we had a meeting too today, okay? We had a team meeting right after my coffee chat. I had the team meeting, and the team meeting was literally just for, you know, someone on a senior level position became a supervisor, which is basically just like right under manager. Anywho, that was it. That was the entire meeting. And the way they brought it up, like, he was talking about it, like, he was just saying a bunch of nonsense on the like, he was just, like, glazing the person, but it was just, like, glazed to, like, talking about them for, like, 10 minutes out of the 30 minutes of this meeting. He was just glazing them. And it's not even, it's just like, okay, you know, we get it. Yeah, they've been working hard, you know, and yep, you know, you announced that they're now a supervisor. We clapped, and then he's still talking, still glazing. And, yeah, it's just, like, crazy that, like, I don't know, it just feels very odd. I don't know. Our team right now just feels a little discombobulated, especially with all the new hires. Everyone's moving, blah 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 blah. He even, this is what really, like, kind of, like, irked me a bit, because we were doing a little bit of talking about the person who left on my team, okay, my side of the team, and he hired her, and she left, and he also, the person that I actually, because I replaced someone when I joined a year ago, because he left after a year, and so he made a joke about how everyone he keeps hiring is leaving him, and then he made the direction towards me. He's like, wait, Josh, and I was like, oh. And then I was like nervously laughing because he pointed at me, and I was like, and like they couldn't hear me because everyone was laughing so loud, but I made the joke saying that, like, oh, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I said something like that, and then I don't know if they heard me, but, like, I could see that, like, they were just like, whatever, you know, the nervous laughter, whatever, blah 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 blah. And in my head, it's just so funny because I was like, I literally just had a coffee chat about how the frick do I leave and get out of this place. But anywho, it was just, yeah, I don't know. It's just odd, you know, like, I feel like he expects so much from everyone, and he keeps talking about AI, and you know, like, every time he said anything about AI, he would look towards me, and I felt very, very odd. Okay, well, not uncomfortable, but it was just like, yeah, like I'd like nervousness because I know this AI thing that's happening with me isn't even not going that well, but yeah, I mean, we don't know yet. It's still a work in progress, so I never know if it's actually going to continue on or not, but yeah, I don't know, y'all. It just felt like very odd. I feel like the relationship that I have could be better, and there's so much stuff I need to work on, and I don't know. It's a little bit of an eye-opening experience, you know, talking and having the chat with the lovely person who I was with today, and yeah, I don't know. These days, I feel like I'm getting rubbed off the wrong way. I don't know. I don't know. I just gotta keep going, keep it in check, and, you know, I don't know. One day God will reward me, and I'll move on. Luck and timing.